Should you ever work for free to get into the film industry? It's one of the biggest debates, and here are my thoughts and recommendations. This video is absolutely not a blanket advocacy for working for free, but there are specific situations where it's not only okay, it's actually something that you should actively be doing. And just to be clear, in 99% of cases, free should still mean that they're covering your expenses. You should not be out of pocket. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when it might make sense and when it absolutely does not. I've worked in HETV and feature films for over a decade. What I'm looking to focus on now is helping people like you navigate this tricky industry. When I started, I had zero connections. And yes, I got asked to work for free more than once. Sometimes I did it, other times I didn't. And honestly, I wish there had been a video like this one when I was starting out, so I would know exactly which opportunities were worth taking and which ones weren't. At the end, I'll share personally what I did and what I'd do differently if I was starting today. Let's start with why people even ask crew to work for free in the first place. Low budget sets or jobs. These can be short films, micro budget music videos or indie features. And look, if you're brand new with no set experience, doing these will be useful to start with. It's a way to break the ice, get a feel for set life, build confidence, meet people and start to hone your skills. But, and this is important, don't stay stuck on the low budget circuit. Your goal is not to stay there forever. So use it as a stepping stone, a chance to experiment with, and then try to move up the production ladder. You want to make sure that you're learning the right things from experienced crew and learning and reinforcing good habits and practices. Passion projects, usually shorts again, but here's the nuance. These are often used by crew trying to step up into a new role. Focus puller might be testing the waters as an operator. You might find that the whole camera team is stepping up. Sometimes they've got solid funding and legit crew. And if it's a crew that you work with regularly too, you should take the project. So don't just write them off. Some passion projects are gold mines for networking and development. Now let's talk about exposure offers. If someone is selling you a gig by saying you'll get exposure, that's a red flag. But if it's still a step up or offers learning or good networking, maybe it's worth a second look. Later in this video, I'll give you 5 questions you should ask yourself to decide whether these are the right opportunities for you to say yes to. When can free work actually be a smart move? Well, helping out a friend or a short film. The industry runs on relationships. Support your network and you'll find that they often support you right back. But remember, you usually have to give first and the reward comes later. Gaining experience in a step-up role. Sometimes the only way to step into a higher position is to just do it, and the opportunities can be easier to get on these types of projects. If your crewmates are solid and if it helps you build your CV, go for it. And don't coast. Don't give it 50%, you need to give it 110%. Every day on set is an interview and show people the value you bring. When there's access you wouldn't normally get, maybe there's an experienced HOD on the shoot that you really want to learn from or work with them on future productions. If this is your chance to connect with them, do it. Keep your ear to the ground. These gigs come up if you're following the right people and companies on social media and constantly networking. When to absolutely say no. If there's a budget and you're not being paid, nope, that sounds like exploitation. If you're asked to be a proper crew member, like a lighting trainee, and they're not paying, you should say no. If it's not labelled as work experience, you should be paid. If there are no experienced crew attached, remember, one of the reasons to say yes is to meet experienced or well-established crew. If there's nobody to learn or network with, it's probably not worth doing, unless you're helping a friend or a colleague or the story truly matters to you. If there's no progression or learning opportunities, if you're already experienced in your role and they want you to do the same thing for free, no. That's not building your future, it's just undervaluing yourself. Here's the framework. 5 quick questions. 1. Will this gain me key experience? Are you stepping up into something new or trying a different department? You will be checking that you will be getting valuable experience. This will be stepping up into a role that is going to help you grow professionally, or if you are right at the start of your career and not sure where you want to go, you may want to use this experience to try a different department entirely. 2. Are experienced crew attached? Ideally in your department and working on the kind of productions you want to get into. For example, you might get the opportunity to work for, say, a very experienced and busy hair and makeup artist on a big feature, who is trying to build their portfolio as a hair and makeup designer. It would be worth traineeing for them or working for free to help them on this passion project, so that you can give yourself the chance to impress them, and hopefully they can get you onto their next job, or for either the duration or even if it's just for some dailies. That's worth a few free days to build a relationship. 3. How long am I being asked to work for free? Duration is important. You cannot be expected to work for free for a long period of time. Everyone has bills to pay and you are likely doing something else to generate income. There is no strict answer to this question, but depending on the opportunity and your situation, I would say no longer than 4 to 5 days. Often you will only be required to do a couple of days, which is ideal. Anything longer than this would suggest to me a red flag and that someone is trying to exploit you over asking for a favour. 4. Does the story resonate with me? As much as what I have covered so far is about using these opportunities as a way to progress your career in a professional manner, that isn't always the primary focus. This is an industry of storytellers who may be leveraging life experience to create a piece of artwork that communicates a particular message to help other people. This is important and something not to be discounted. The mission behind a project or the story itself may resonate with you. This means a project can be fulfilling as well as a networking opportunity and a growth opportunity. I can safely say that I learned something and met some lovely people on every project I ever did, big or small, paid or not. 5. Are others being paid while I'm not? Ideally, everyone's on the same kind of deal, and it's also a very good sign that the HODs are treating the crew fairly. But if you see real value, professionally or personally, don't rule it out completely. One connection can change your career. Low budget work isn't the only way into the industry. Shadowing experienced crew instead of doing a crew role, for example. If you are able to build up rapport with an established crew member, getting shadowing opportunities should be pretty easy to organise. The pros are that it is often just for one day, so you won't be out of pocket much financially. Also, you get to really focus on the person that you're shadowing and learn from them in a stress-free environment. The cons with this is it's not really something you can add to your CV, it doesn't test your skills, and is not the best way to show the crew what you're capable of. Work experience at companies. This is a great way to learn skills, network, and have an opportunity to show why a company should hire you. Even if they don't have a job for you straight away, a position could come available and they might offer it straight to you. Plus, this can allow you to try different companies and departments. You will be able to put these placements on your CV and could strengthen your application to a future position, whether that's at another company or on set. Volunteering in adjacent areas, department guilds, unions, trade shows, film festivals. What you're trying to do here is get in front of as many industry professionals as you can to be able to network. It only takes meeting one person to change your course, so this is worth pursuing whilst you're trying to find your way in. Let's talk pitfalls. Getting too comfortable in the low budget circuit. Once you start getting some regular work, it'll be very difficult to turn it down for many reasons. Financially and finally feeling like you're making some progress. While the indie circuit teaches you a lot of really important skills, there are people getting ahead of you by going straight in at the high-end level of work. This is what I would recommend doing. Burnout. Doing too much unpaid work early on will kill your motivation. Be smart. Balance these gigs with paid work or side hustles. Saying yes to everything is not good. Not every opportunity is the right one for you to take. You can get stuck in the same circles and find that you're constantly doing the same type and level of work, not progressing towards your goals. Use this video as your checklist, and if you're still unsure, write to me in the comments and I'll see how I can help you. Over the years, I've worked on multiple projects where I was either unpaid or on the same low budget deal as the rest of the crew. Some charity promos I did for free did end up leading to more paid work, and some short films I didn't lead anywhere. That's normal. Don't get discouraged. Just make sure you're backing the right people and keep putting yourself out there. You'll only figure that out by getting out there and doing it. Also, create a tight group of peers and you will help each other out with support and opportunities. What I would do differently if I could go back to the start of my career would be to network harder and go to more events. You have to put yourself out there, and what you need to realise early on is we are all there on set to get to the same goal. So say hello and help each other out. Now it's your turn. Have you ever been asked to work for free? Or are you thinking about it? Drop your story or your question in the comments. I read and reply to every single one. And if you want weekly tips on how to break into the film and TV industry the smart way, then hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.